Chocolate's it. Get this thing started. Get this thing started. Get the party going. Gotta have to click the button. There we go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hold on, let me increase your volume.
Is there a way that I can make this side-by-side view?
I don't know.
I do not know. There we go.
Am I okay? Not blurry or anything?
No, it's fine. It's sharp. I said we get started here in a second.
All right. Hold on, let me just clear my.
Now, what we do on this segment is pretty much we spotlight, you know, your talents, we spotlight your influences. We pretty much give you a chance to tell the world and the fans about, you know, your come up in music, your come up in the music industry as far as an indie artist, and you know, that's pretty much kind of somewhat roundabout what the topics we'll touch on. And I know that you're slightly a comedian as well, so feel free to podcast. This platform is for, you know, the culture of indie music. So, you know, we do what we want to do over here. It's where I kind of try to tell most of the artists that I work with. We do what we want to do. We smoke, we drink, we party, and we turn up and listen to some dope music.
Okay, let's get it.
So,
I don't smoke, so.
I do have notes as well. I have a few notes, a few questions that I will that I highlighted and want to ask off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
This is Culture Vision TV, baby, and we do what we do. And like that, we back with another episode of Culture Vision, Black Excellence Spotlight. We have the amazing, are you R&B, soul, neo soul? Like what genre do you specify with?
I don't have one particular genre. I'm versatile, diverse, but the two songs that I've released are R&B songs. So people could say that, you know, R&B.
They could consider around, but you know.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I just want to know what made you want to become a musician, other than having the gift of being able to sing.
I think like I've always had a soft spot for music. So my dad, my biological father, he always used to like listen to music with me and play music with me. And I think that's where my love for music stems from his influence. And yeah, like there were countless times we would drive together and he would like play My Boo by Usher featuring Alicia.
Mm-hmm.
Know that song?
Films right there, My Boo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't shoot me for singing.
Yeah. So like that was one of the songs that it just made me I wanted to sing, and I wanted to know like, oh, okay, how did she hit the high notes and etc. So I think my love for music and the influence, it's definitely my dad.
Definitely. That's dope. You play any instruments?
I do. I play piano or keyboard. I used to play marimba. I don't know if you know marimba.
What is marimba? See, we and the best part about this is that we're like from two different worlds, pretty much.
World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you told me that you guys were having shedding.
Bruv, that's
And
embarrassing. But
it's not embarrassing unless it's something that is more particular to it. But after I realized what you said and what it was, and I was like, man, we need something like that over here because we waste a lot, you know. We waste, and we use materials and resources to our advantage.
mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, like right now, I have probably 10 lights on for no reason.
Yeah, no. Load shedding is the consequences of what's that word? Of corruption. But that's that.
What does shedding, like, what does it do? Does it help anything? Does it hurt anything?
The load shedding. No, they practically cut the lights.
It shut it off.
For different cities, yeah, for different cities, and there's like a duration period. So maybe for 2 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever. But
what about people that have like health issues or whatnot, like people that's hooked up to like ventilators and that people do in-home dialysis and stuff like such?
Hospitals, clubs, restaurants, all those kind of facilities, they have generators. So whenever load shedding does occur, there's, you know, backup plan. But yeah.
So what inspired you as far as writing the song Franklin? That's one of my songs right there. I like that song.
Thank you. Do you know the funny thing about Franklin is I think just the setting, you know, I think setting plays a very important role when you're about to make music.
Describe like what that song is actually, you know, detailed about.
Okay. So Franklin,
it was supposed to be eye to eye, but he was eyeing the pussy, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of got his eyes wrapped up around wrong things, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's about that. Okay, so let me give you a background. I play PlayStation. Mm-hmm. So one of my favorite games is GTA. So if you know the character Franklin and the way that he operates and the way that he behaves, mm-hmm. comparison to some of the niggas I've met.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Franklin kind of like a rude boy in the streets.
Exactly. And just very violent with the girls. Like the game actually allows you to beat up girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just like, that's where I got inspiration from. And I was just comparing it to some of the guys that I've met where they weren't like there for the right reasons and nothing that was going on had a positive like outcome. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, exactly. And you see in that line where I say, loving me means loving the crew. Baby, are you with it? It's him telling me, like, if you want me, you want everything that I'm involved in. You know what I'm saying?
You as a whole, you know, everything, like you said, everything that you bring to the table, the flaws and all.
Exactly. And the thing is with Franklin, it's a conversation. It's actually a conversation. That's sorry.
I can definitely relate to certain points in the song to where you know, you kind of give like an ultimatum to the point to where, like, you know, either you're gonna get your shit together or we ain't gonna do this. You know,
exactly.
Either you're gonna come correct or I ain't gonna fool you at all. You know, like I said, listen to the lyrics of the song and you'll understand that if you have a certain particular mindset like Franklin, you know, like I said, rude boy, you want to run the streets, you want to hang with the guys, you want to hang out with all the girls, you know, you in everybody's face and stuff like that. Don't be looking for me.
Yeah.
Don't try to get me to get on your coattail because I ain't messing with you, boy.
Exactly. And that's why I say it's a conversation between me and this Franklin guy, which is obviously the dude. And in the chorus, I say, is this our very last night? That's just more like me saying like, is this my final straw? Like, or am I finally gonna walk away because you keep doing me dirty, you keep doing me foul? Am I gonna stay and tolerate it, or am I gonna walk away? And that's why in the end of the song, I say, what do I mean to you? That's one of my favorite lines in
Like I said,
Franklin.
that's like the ultimatum. That's like, give me a good reason to continue to, bother with the situation. What do I mean to you? That's why I said I like that. I like that song because it's very personal.
Yeah, 100%. And I didn't write that song either, by the way.
Okay. Do you write your songs, or do you have a writer?
No, I make my own music, but my creative process is that I would listen to an instrumental, then I would have my phone with me, and so that I can record. So when I record myself, that's when I record like whatever flow I get, melodies,
Melody of
whatever, lyrics. So you know what I mean? So everything that I say in my phone, I then draft it on paper.
So you
so
freestyle.
that's exactly. I just want to say that because I don't want to hype it up, but that's basically it.
But it sounds like a freestyle. It sounds like you definitely craft your songs like fresh out because you're recording. You're not writing off the rip, you're recording it off the rip. So that is a form of freestyle writing.
Yeah, for sure.
Not recording freestyle writing because you convert it over to paper from, you convert it from the memory to the recording, from the recording to paper. I kind of had this type of processing when whenever I write music or whatnot, create music,
Yeah.
I want to jump into the song Good Days that you did. And I want you to elaborate on what inspired you to come up with the concept of Good Days.
Okay. So
that's another dope record. And once again,
really,
like I said, I'm not sure if you have features, but I know that you have a new single coming out.
I do have a new single coming out.
But elaborate on Good Days for us if you can.
Good Days was just a song that was off like, vibes. It was my first time recording professionally and my first time in the studio. And I was at my homeboy's house and we were just chilling. They played the beat and I just looked at the vibes, man. And everyone was just smoking, having a good time. I wasn't smoking because I don't smoke. But everyone else
observed those vocals. Ain't no smoking.
Everyone was, smoking, having a good time. And I was very nervous because it was my first time recording. So they were like, should we go get you wine? Like, let's go get you wine, let's get you food, and moral of the story, it was a good day. It was about the vibes. And it was raining. And I love rain. So it was raining, and that's actually where a lot of my inspiration stems from as well, like rain and nature. You should tell me. I talk really fast, hey? So you must tell me if I'm...
You're a very spiritual individual.
I'm Christian. I'm spiritual in Christ, yes, but I'm Christian, 100%. But I love nature still, So I looked around my environment, my atmosphere, everything was very light, and it wasn't like negative energy. There was no toxic vibe going on. Everything was just very pure. And it just, again, another song I freestyled. And it just went with, I think, the beat. Yeah.
Okay. So I have here pulled up on my screen episode of, I don't know if he has a name for his podcast on YouTube, but you're with the South African YouTuber t-reckz.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys played a game called Would You Rather. Do you remember that?
Oh gosh. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's pretty dope if you ask me. I really did like the edits that he did on the video. I like the edits that they did. And I also really did like the questions that they had to ask as for it
No.
being a disgusting addition, you know.
Yeah, no.
There was quite a few disgusting questions. I won't go into those because that was very intriguing to certain types of minds. We would say what we call it, morbid.
You know what? Like, sorry to cut you off, but like even with that video, I had no idea he was gonna ask us those questions. He didn't like, I didn't pre-read them. That's why all my reactions was genuine because I didn't know, you know, like what? And he knew that if he told me, I was gonna back away for sure. Cause
oh wow.
No.
Yeah, like drinking piss or drinking sweat.
Mm.
And not even just a cup, it was like 2 liters or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that one. I ain't sure about that.
Yeah, no.
What qualities do you think that it takes to be a great musician, as far as like being a pretty dope artist? What qualities do you think that you should possess as far as like an aspiring artist or new up and coming independent artist? What would you say 3 to 5 key things that they should like tap in on or tune into to, you know, really sharpen that set of skills?
Obviously still like, you know, developing and upcoming, but what I think the things that I picked up is definitely discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You need to cut all your old, like all your bad habits so that you can get somewhere. So you need to be disciplined.
Focus.
That and have drive. You know, like you need to have a reason to keep moving. And what I would do is that days where I would feel demotivated, I would watch what's that guy? David Gordon's the guy on YouTube. I don't know if you know him, but he talks a lot about like, you know, he's very hardcore and he's just so real and talks about just not giving up and pushing and, you know, all of that. You need to be true to yourself.
That's number one.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't in a particular order.
No. I was just saying, if you can't be true to yourself, then none of those will actuate.
Okay, then that's point number one for sure. Like self-discovery is very important in the process. And I think like as soon as you know who you are, you won't be maneuvered by the waves that come across like in the industry and the floods and you know, the new styles and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You need to develop patience. Oh my gosh, I can't emphasize this enough. You need to develop patience. It's very, very important to be a patient person in this because it's you know, things don't happen according to your pace all the time. And that can frustrate you, but you also need to understand that, you know, there is God's appointed time. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think the fifth one, I would say goal orientated, but I think that's linked to being driven. So I think the fifth one would definitely be smart and just develop like a forgiveness quality, if that's a thing, because you make music that you don't like sometimes, or you do things that you wish, oh, I wish I didn't do it before. So you need to learn how to forgive yourself during this process. And yeah, I think those are my
we have to have a mindset as far as this is a lifestyle. This is not a hobby. If you're serious to the point to where you're gonna spend ample amount of time, energy, you know, this is a lifestyle. This isn't a hobby. So if I eat, sleep, and shit music, or I eat, sleep, and shit artistry or creativity, then I have to understand that there are risks that I'm gonna have to take. There are investments I'm gonna have to make. And there's time that I'm gonna have to spend doing things that 9 times out of 10, not all the time I'm gonna wanna do, but that are well for my brand and my business and as far as my image as an artist.
For sure. And also just sacrifice. People need to understand that There's a lot of sacrifice that takes place during this. You can't go and turn up with your friends when you know you should be recording. Every time that you get to make music, fall in love, stay in love with music as well.
How do you stay in love with music? Is it like a relationship?
I think to a certain degree, it can be like it's
sometimes the relationship with music can kind of get like, like with Franklin. Sometimes, the music, it don't speak to you, so you have to listen. Sometimes you have to input more effort into it to get the certain results that you want. And, sometimes you have to spend late nights, as far as, like I said, like a relationship, you have to treat it like you care about it. You know what I'm saying?
Nurture, give it time. It needs to grow. And also, I think how you can stay
like, not to cut you off, but would the relationship be like having a child as far as music being your baby, or would music be like your lover?
No, it's my baby. Everyone who like my mom and them know that's my baby. Music is my baby. I treat it like my baby. And that's why I'm very, very scared to put out music first, because you're exposing your baby, transparent and stuff. So I think just like you need to rediscover your first love, that's how it should be with music, for you to stay in love with it. Go back to what song made you fall in love with music. What's the reason why you started listening to music, making music, or art, or whatever people are interested in. And also just, I think taking breaks is important. It's like when you're with your partner, you still want enough time for you guys to miss each other, as opposed to 24/7.
Exactly. So you don't want to like overwork yourself, like be in the studio too much, think about writing the perfect lyric too much. Sometimes you just got to go with it.
For sure. And like I said, you need to take a break sometimes. Like, have you ever had those times where you just don't feel like listening to music?
All the time. I listen to so much music.
Like, yeah.
And not only do I listen to a lot of music, I listen to a lot of different genres and different styles of artists and different perspectives. Because you'll have I know a few R&B artists, but they probably only do like breakup songs or sad songs, or like, songs pretty much concepting, I wouldn't say a negative moment, but more so of like a darkened moment, something more dark versus enlightening and loving,
But is that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a lot of times that style or that concept is more relatable versus always being a cheerful or happy, or somebody that's singing about love, or somebody that's singing about how much they like something or like someone. You know what I'm saying? As far as like R&B goes, when it comes to like rap and soul, it's kind of tit for tat around about the same region. I do get a lot of country's rap. I do get a lot of like generic hip hop or classic hip hop. But when I ran across Soeyang, I noticed a different approach as far as concept and as far as the style, and even the delivery of the melody was quite intriguing, to the point to where I was like, man, who is this? Like what else style, or what else tempo or genre do you have? Because whenever I listen to Franklin or Good Days, I kind of go into this mode to where I'm just just like, it's just like a wave of vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing being pushed on me. It's nothing that I'm like struggling to listen to or anything like that. It's nice and smooth. You know what I'm saying? So A lot of times when I hear R&B song, it's almost a rap song, or it's almost like, you know, fuck that nigga, but it's like it's supposed to be rhythm and blues, or rhythm and soul, or soul and, you know, a vibe,
Yeah.
some sort of connection to what you're actually singing about.
And storyline for sure. Like I think song lacks that. People don't give you stories anymore.
But do you think that this day and age is more so of the artist trying to manipulate the you know, the acceptance of something versus actually being intrigued?
Okay. Back up why you would say that and then I'll respond.
Well, I review so much music that I notice a trend of, like you said earlier, it's more so of a trend to just put out something or create a song that sounds like five other artists, you know what I'm saying? Versus you purposely aiming to be different, to sound different, have different melodies, to have even different topics and concepts. You know, a lot of people get on a song and they want to talk about what they got, they chains, their jewelry, the cars, women, what, you know, how much money they have, versus actually sending a message and a story to someone that might need to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's someone that's in a relationship with a Franklin and they like, damn, I don't know how the hell to get away from this guy, or damn, I don't even know how to deal with this type of person, or what type of person am I dealing with. A song like Franklin would kind of give them, whether it's directions, instructions, or details on something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Versus you hearing a song and it's like, man, look, okay, I don't have a car, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have nothing but one watch and one necklace. So I can't relate to that song where you know, you got 40 watches, 40 cars, 40 houses. I can't really relate to that. A lot of people day and age, the artists are, I would say, lazy.
Okay. I'm
So
gonna
how would you say a lazy song versus a song that someone actually spent two weeks,
can you
2 weeks to a month actually writing and coming up with the concept and, you know, the influence behind the lyrics?
I think like even in that case, you can definitely tell if you're like, you know, if your ear is good, you can tell when an artist has crafted music. You know, at the end of the day, music generates from creativity.
Definitely.
And so frustrating how like it's easy for people to just release music nowadays and da 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 and whatever. If I was in like a different position, or if I was like a record label owner or whatever, I would make it 10 times more difficult for an artist to actually make it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Have to want it. I was having this conversation with my friend the other day, and it was about basketball. And we were comparing like Kobe to the up and coming basketball players now, like your Kyrie. Okay, he's not up and coming, is you know, your
Kyrie's been in the league for a while now. You have
Kyrie, Kevin, and he was just telling me how like what makes Kobe so different to so many of these basketball players is the hunger.
yeah, his
You know,
work
like
ethic was unmatched.
exactly. You can tell by the way that someone plays a sport or the way that someone makes music that they're hungry and that
Yeah,
they're
Kobe,
determined.
Kobe practicing right now in heaven.
You know what I mean?
He's practicing right
So,
now.
you know, like and like I was watching his memorial service, and Shaq was talking about how they were playing and they were like, oh, Kobe doesn't want to pass the ball. And Shaq was like, Kobe, there's no I in team. And Kobe, I don't know what Kobe said, but basically he wasn't gonna give them the ball.
No, you
They
got
had
work
to
for it.
exactly. And
Yeah,
that's the same with it's the same with music.
you got to show
You
me
can
how. You got to show me how bad you want the ball.
exactly. People feel entitled nowadays, and you can tell like when people feel, I just deserve it, as opposed to people that actually work hard for it. You know,
Yeah, that's.
hunger.
I try not to pay attention to like the limelight or industry wise, because I know for facts that they have giants behind them. They have machines behind them. They could press one button and now they're at 100,000 streams. You know, it's like a cheat code. It's almost like
Yeah,
a cheat code. We don't have access to these cheat codes unless we make sacrifices that we aren't comfortable with making.
true. Yeah, no, so you can definitely tell when an artist is lazy, and that's why I don't even give a lot of these artists like a chance. I don't listen to many of these like new artists because I can tell like you're just trying to trend and it doesn't last for a long time,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah,
But
this
hey,
is a turnover. It's quick. What would you say to the audience as far as, first of all, I want you to tell the people where they could find your music and where they could find you if they want to, hit you up or like some photos or like some videos or something like that. Check out the latest, drops.
okay. So firstly, my name is Soeyang. I don't know what you said. What did you say?
I said Soeyang.
It's not Soeyang, it's Soeyang. It has a little twang to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you
And
from?
you can
Tell people where you from and where you grew up at and stuff like that. Like pretty much, give them a piece of the background, paint a pretty picture for them.
I'm from South Africa, born and raised here, 20 years of age,
Where
born.
in South Africa, because it's a very large
Do you
country.
know a place in South Africa, Terrence?
I do not. I know a few places. I really off the back of my hand, I probably know
Johannesburg.
5 places.
Okay. So I'm from Pretoria, specifically Montana. And yeah, this is my city.
Montana, we have a Montana.
Well, cheers to that.
There's a Montana in Africa.
Yeah, I'm 20. I'm born, my birthday is the 8th of June. And what else? You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram at iam.soeyang. My music is on Apple Music, YouTube Music. I can't pronounce this. Is it Ditto?
Ditto.
Whatever. What'd you say?
Ditto.
You can find me on Sound.
You're a Gemini.
Yeah.
That's cool. So do you utilize like your zodiac star power?
No, I'm not.
Gemini is like split two different like yin yang almost.
No, like like I said, I'm Christian, so I'm not allowed to. I'm not really in, the zodiac signs, but I do read because I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm born, I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting because I'm like, I'm funny, so that's a Gemini trait.
So,
but
is it like is the religion there, like as far as like Christianity, is it very strict?
Christianity,
just what you follow or what you deciding to, is this a restrictions that you're placing upon yourself, or is it restrictions that's placed inside of the religion and that are specific commandments that you follow?
I mean, as you know, Christianity does have the 10 commandments.
Definitely.
The commandments obviously not kill, do not steal, do not fornicate, etc. But
I think that's just common sense at the end of the day, or like common nature law.
Yeah, but for me, like I don't even look at being Christian like that. Like I just feel like I'm a believer. That's what I believe. I have a relationship with God. I sin, but God knows that my heart.
Wake up and the first thought of our mind is probably, something that we either lusting over or something that we, when we wake up, first thing, I want this, I mean, it's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's not easy not to sin if you put it on a molecular level versus versus on like a casual or just a general purpose level, you know, like I wouldn't kill anyone, let alone you wouldn't kill your mom or your dad. No one would, you know, like you wouldn't kill someone. I don't know about stealing because I wouldn't, me personally, I don't steal, but like I said, another person might have another
But you've
reason.
stolen before, haven't you? Before,
I
haven't
mean,
you stolen?
bubble gum.
You see, exactly. I still astros. Exactly. You see, like
Just a piece of bubble gum. That was it.
I stole some astros. That was it.
It's and you still will be taken care of for just that little increment, just that little petty whatever, you know, 25 cents or you know, whatever it was. You still be you're gonna be bent over the Lord's knee and spanked on the ass either way it go. Yes. So like I'm saying,
That,
regardless of whether it's Christianity or, you know, if I'm like with Buddha or if I believe in, you know, if I'm a Muslim or if I'm, you know, the common nature of the aspect of the rules pretty much, you know, is pretty much the same thing. It's technically all do good unto others as you will want others to do unto you. And when you become a sinner,
the
you
only Christianity,
Mhm.
we're supposed to also not that we're obligated to, but we should share the gospel of God. Like that's I think that's the only like major difference is that we preach about God and yeah, man, it's good. It's a lovely relationship. I definitely don't feel like I'm restricted from like things. It's just a self-conscious like decision that I make if I don't want to
that's
do
what I'm that's
something.
pretty much what I'm saying. It's like a self-conscience
Yeah.
common nature. And if you're a good person, you're a good person. You're a crazy cuckoo motherfucker, you then yeah, you know.
What are you?
I classify myself as more of a spiritual minded person. You know, I like you said, I'm in touch and in tech with the earth and Mother Nature. I respect the universe for what the universe offers, you know, and I don't ask for anything from the universe. I demand it.
Interesting.
I don't ask for peace, you know, I demand peace, you know, stuff like that. I don't ask for um convictions and manifestations, you know. I create these things. I don't, oh, I want $1 million. No, it don't work like that. Universe, give me $1 million. It don't work like that. Is you put in the work and the effort that it takes to get to $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And you manifest every step of the way. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this to take care of this move. I'm gonna knock out this and I'm gonna knock out that. Put myself in a position. Of course, there is an almighty and a higher power that controls the blink of your eye. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say I respect the universe, because without existence, we wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's the universe. Some people call it God. Some people call it Buddha. Some people call it Allah. Me, I call it spirit. It's just the light that's in you. Like light that's above our heads right now. Is you know, it's the same energy that we have. We are energy. That's why I say negative and positive. Be positive versus being negative, because we are energy. We are light. You can only imagine what a negative light looks like. It's probably dark or dim or
It's not light. Negative. It's not light.
precisely. Um, I want to end it on your new release and um tell the people about the new record that you have getting ready to release.
Okay, so
It's coming out on Ditto. So if anybody got Ditto, make sure y'all get Ditto. I'm gonna get Ditto. So I already pre-saved it on Spotify, but I'm gonna get Ditto and I'm gonna pre-save it on Ditto.
I told you it's gonna be on Spotify as well, Apple Music, YouTube Music, not just Ditto. It's all platforms. It's about
What is the name of the record?
U in capital letters.
Y-O-U.
No, Y-O, yeah, Y-O-U. You. Sorry. You. So.
She just gonna make up her own spelling for you.
I was gonna say in a
Whatever
different
you
language.
want to call it.
I completely. I was about to. Okay, but yeah, it's titled "You." It is a song about.
My co-host that just sits back and kind of ghost watches what we do. She said, "What does your name mean?"
This way, it shouldn't have been. I just saw her just do the little. I don't know. I was trying to say hi, but hi.
She wants to know, what does your name mean? If you
Soeyang.
yeah, if you can elaborate on that for us.
Okay, so Yang was my grandmother's name, and it means "do not mess up my house." So obviously, because I'm Christian, I turned it to "do not mess up the house of the Lord," because your body is a temple, and yeah, that's what Soeyang means, and it's not Chinese. Hey, I know a lot of people are like,
I know it's not Chinese. Did you see my flag?
okay.
I know it's not Chinese.
I see. So my family is just pretty much all over the world. We have Scotland, the United States. So we've got family everywhere. So I think it just sounds very unique. It sounds like that.
So that's pretty dope. I like that you incorporated the spirit of your grandmother into your art. That's pretty dope. That's big homage. That's major homage that you're paying as far as lineage and as far as, like you said, the spiritual connection of is your grandmother still here with us?
No, she passed on.
So how I see it is that vicariously your grandmother is, if she is your writer, is she's the spirit to your sound. She's the light to your sound as far as how you incorporate, your own creative melodies and, the tunes that you like to use. I haven't heard you like sound like any other artist that I know. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure if I heard your grandmother sing or, like hum or tune or something, then it will remind me of what you've done with your creations. And I think,
sorry?
I said, I think that's pretty dope as an artist to be able to even just like I said, just with your name alone, it's art. It's it's more like like I said, it's like you created your own. You even created your own meaning. You added to it or you edited a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you still did your own thing. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be Lil Soeyang. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm anything like such. So
yeah,
I like that. I really I wish more artists would search for originality. Because even when I type in your name on the search engine, only you pop up. No one else pops up. Probably a few Asians.
I know. I'm like, he's lying. I've searched my name and I always see I'm like some Asian, name thing.
But if you type in I am.
No, but that's the thing. My stage name is not I am. That's just my Instagram name. So when I only type in Soeyang, so
couple Asians
pop on the internet, and I'm like, oh, senior, the job.
I think that's pretty dope. Do you have any questions as far as like industry questions or indie artist questions? Because I am solely indie and I want every indie artist to stay independent. I want every indie artist to get 100 to 200% of their royalties from their creations.
I was about to ask you about that. Would you like advise artists vouch for getting signed? Would you advise them to, you know, search
It
for that, or to remain independent?
definitely depends on, I would say, location. It depends on where you're located. And it also depends on your passion for creation. Because if you do sign to a major label, the first thing that they're going to take away is your rights to create.
Yeah, of course. And strip your whole image and stuff. Yeah.
So if you ask me, depending on my development stage and when I'm offered a deal to sign with a major, if I'm just starting out, I would stay independent. If I've been doing it for quite some time, 5 to 10 years, then I'm sure that I will have more knowledge to be able to, agree or disagree with contractual, agreement. I would be able to go into the contract, read the contract, and understand everything that's in the contract if I've been doing it for 5 to 10 years. So I would say that if you're an artist that's been doing it for quite a while, 5 to 10 years plus, a major label, as far as like a co-sign only, I wouldn't fully sign over all rights to a major label. I would only give them up to 10%, 10 to 12% overall. And I would definitely establish my own branding, and I would establish my own label as far as publishing, writer, I would have it to where only thing that I need the major record label for is to push marketing. That's
Yeah.
promotion and marketing. You could pay that back. You know what I'm saying? But when they get to offering you millions of dollars for promotion and marketing, and they want you to do outrageous things, it's just like, yeah. It takes away from the passion. It takes away from the sincerity of you being an artist that actually has a strong passion for creation.
For sure.
Just even if I was offered a major record label deal, only knowing what the contract withholds is what would determine me signing that or not.
So what you're basically saying is, if you want to be signed to a record label, read your shit. Read and understand.
Get a lawyer. That's the most important thing I could tell you. Get a lawyer. Every artist should have a lawyer.
Wait. You didn't ask, but okay.
You say you have a lawyer?
No, I'm studying law. I'm a student as well. I'm not just
studying law. You say what outside of music are you doing? You're studying law. What area of expertise in law are you studying? What area of law are you studying?
Criminal law right now.
So do you want to be like an officer, a defense attorney?
Advocate. An advocate.
An advocate?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I'm not gonna finish. I'm gonna do my degree here, but I'm still gonna, because I'm not planning to stay in South Africa. So when I move to the States, start all over again, because you guys have a completely different system. To us, learn all your stuff outside. That's
very unnecessary and corrupt system, brutally corrupt system. We need people that have a passion for justice, and true justice, and justice for us is,
who are your top 5 favorite artists? Not of all time, just in general.
Number 1, I definitely would have to say Michael Jackson.
Oh, me too. Are you serious?
Definitely. Michael Jackson is, he's stepping on necks. He said artist, so it's not like hip hop or R&B or, whatever. It's Michael Jackson. Then I would have to say definitely Bob Marley. As you can see, he's on the wall. Oh, I don't normally do stuff like this,
great spectacles, so I can't see.
But this is how much I love Michael Jackson.
Wow.
And I handcrafted
Wow.
this is
Dad.
wood.
Oh, that's so cool. What's your favorite Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson song? Liberian Girl.
Oh, okay.
See? And that's why I like Liberian Girl, because everybody's like, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it didn't top the charts. It didn't make much noise. But if you go back and you watch the official music video of Liberian Girl, then
Was there music?
yeah, you understand why I like the song Liberian Girl, because the music video is there's so much creation that goes into the video, to where they're shooting a video.
I'm gonna check it out.
So it has very much depth to the concept, you know. So make sure you go watch Liberian Girl by Michael Jackson. But as far as my top 5 favorite artists, it's Michael Jackson,
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Then I would have to go and say Whitney Houston.
Whoa, I was not expecting that.
Just on number 3. Whitney Houston. Then I would have to, after Whitney, it would be Prince, because he's colorful. He has no boundaries. Prince had no boundaries. He walk out stage with his ass out, he shake his ass in your face, and then he's gonna sing like you haven't heard singing before. So Prince was unmatched as far as a performer. He's really right in the realms of being, you know, up there with Michael, but it's just that Michael's so different, and Michael could rap if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a rapper if he wanted to. He could have been any genre or any avenue that he wanted to. So it's Michael, Bob, Whitney Houston, Prince, and for number 5, I would say Lil Wayne. And that's just because I'm me, and you know, that's kind of like what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? I grew up listening to Lil Wayne. I grew up following Lil Wayne. And I kind of like the Lil Wayne when he switched over from being so drowned out by, you know, the fake image that he had to portray versus being a skater. You know what I'm saying? I like the skater Lil Wayne.
Yeah, he had me believing I could skateboard. I could never. I'm not a skateboarder. No. Okay.
What do you do in your spare time? Like, other than doing music, other than studying, other than hanging out with friends, you know, like the common thing. What do you do with your spare time? Like, do you paint? Do you craft any other?
I'm not a conjure. I can't draw. I draw stickmen, so you clearly, you know, I can't draw. I don't have the patience for drawing, but I am an author as well. I like writing, like books and short stories and poems. You know, that's something I like doing. Sure.
So not only can we expect, you know, great music and dope vibes, we can also expect for, you know, further down the line, you know, probably some poetry, you know, some open mic type things, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Dope.
Also, I like cooking and just like reading about, you know, cooking and stuff. Also, like I'm an adventurous person. So I like to, you know, I like
Like the
not
travel.
roller skating. I can do that. Yeah, I like traveling. I like you know, going to art galleries just to
Have you ever
admire.
been to the States?
Sorry?
Have you ever been to the States? Have you ever been to the United States?
No, I was supposed to come in August to visit my family, but oh no, but I'm gonna most probably next year because
You gotta come
I'm
to the
gonna
States.
I don't think I'll be on your side. You guys are in Canada, right?
No, I'm in the middle of
Or
United
you're
States. And I move
oh,
around, so I travel a lot, so I'm always here and there. So never
yeah.
really at home like Drake said.
I'm scared I get there and I like it so much I don't want to come back home. You know what I mean?
What would you think would be the major difference?
It's different. Isn't it different?
We trying to
No,
be over where you at.
my cousins came to visit. When they come to visit, like they just enjoy and they like to me, oh, you should come. It's always like a 2-year gap, then we see you, so you need to come and stuff. So yeah.
What about when they come there? Do they not want to stay in Africa when they come to Africa?
Sure, they always do. And yeah.
What would you, like I said, what would you say will be the major difference? What do you think will be the major difference?
You guys have a lot of food. I think that's a major difference. Like your portions are larger than ours.
We
Like
gotta
I
eat
don't know
more.
how so much food. That's your no. I get full just looking at like pictures of, your food that side. I think also just like the lifestyle is different because obviously like Americans are more free with their bodies or whatever, and it's a norm to see a girl walking with like a bra and shorts. This side, oh no, like we don't do that. Like we do nowadays, but we
Yeah,
still have that same yo, my mom though.
yeah, we got it to where you're able to be a thought if you want to, and it's not a bad thing.
I never said that, but okay.
You could be hot in the pot if you want to out here. If you want to be just outrageous, even like you said, just kind of showing some skin and showing some body. If you want to feel sexy, or if you want to feel, what I'm saying, a little erotic or whatnot, you're free to do that here.
Yeah, American is definitely big on freedom. Like when it comes to a person's your choices or whatever, you guys are very out there and very loud too. Hey, you guys are just very out there. Nothing's wrong with it.
So
So
you're saying we're able to express.
yeah, you guys are you're just very free. You're not afraid to like I said, with the dress codes for the females. So other than that, American South Africa, to be like specific, there really isn't a major difference. And you see it as well, like if you check on YouTube, like Americans like
But when you think of
reside.
America, you think of like city and kind of like fast pace, and everyone's all headed somewhere, and someone going to party or something like such.
Yeah, no, 100%, especially New York. I've seen how packed it is, and I think that just gives me anxiety. There's too many people moving around. That's not
Yeah,
like
see,
that's
I'm more
scary.
so from the country or rural areas to where it's not much, but just a lot of land and trees, or just a lot of landscaping.
Okay.
I mean, the
Well,
city's cool. The city's cool, but it's like being in a town to where it's 50 people and everybody knows everybody, versus being in a big city like New York or Texas or California, and to go to Walmart or go to the local grocery store is a 30-minute trip.
30 minutes.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
driving. So if you were to walk somewhere, it'd take your ass forever. But that's why we got Uber, and we even have like electric scooters and stuff that just sit on the side of the road that you can swipe your debit card and take a ride.
You guys should come to South Africa though, hey?
We're definitely gonna get passports and come out there and dip our toes in some water.
Why did you have to specify dip your toes in the water?
Because it's the energy that you want to soak up. It's in the water. You want to get you a big cup of African water and drink it and pour it on top of your head and sunbathe and moonbathe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys should definitely like come this side. South Africa is known for like its parties.
Known
Like
for your food and for your festivities.
yes, so we're very big on
And that's what I thought that you would say would be the difference between America and South Africa would be the food and the festivities, because here we have a lot of, you know, made up tradition. It's like
Wow.
it's like culture jacking here. You know, we got a
It's
lot of
not culture jacking, and it's no, it's unfair to say that it's culture like jacking. I just no.
well, the people here that run things, or the majority of society here acts like us. But when we act like us, it's you know, the outlook on it is, you know, more so, yeah.
Yeah.
They treat us like we was being treated when we was being treated like we was being treated when we first got here. So yeah. And again, that's why we say we want to come to Africa. We want to go home. And you know, um a lot of the time,
So many Americans that
we say it one more time.
there's a lot of Americans that are now permanently living here in South Africa, you know, and they're enjoying, you know, they just partying a lot, and they're like, I just feel human. And I was like, wow, welcome home.
Feel like being in America, you always either looking over your shoulder or thinking like, kind of think like, you know, you have no control over what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And going to Africa or coming to Africa would like open up. It's kind of like the reverse thing. Like, you know, we want more freedom. We want to be able to express ourselves without someone like, hey, you know, you're not supposed to be doing that, or you're not supposed to be over here. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Being able to walk the street and just be not bothered by anybody, versus you're not supposed to be in this neighborhood, or, you know, where are you going, or what are you doing, what are you up to, stuff like that. You're always getting profiled, you're always being judged, you know. It's a lot of judging, that people judge you, they envy you, and it's just America for you. And I think that's why we have this thing with the image of trying to be perfect, or trying to fit in to a certain magnitude, as far as being accepted. Everyone in America wants to be accepted in some form of fashion, versus stand out, or everyone wants to fit in this one big, you know, this one big crowd, instead of being the thing that catches everybody's attention on the side.
Yeah, no, I never, yeah, no, you guys should come decide.
Oh, definitely.
It's not,
like I said, we definitely gonna get some passports, and we're gonna, you know, we're gonna tap into the music scene that's in South Africa. Also,
Amapiano, that's the music. Have you heard Amapiano before?
What was it?
Amapiano.
Amapiano. It's a song?
It's a genre. It's a genre. You don't know. I mean, you were talking about tapping into the music space. Are you not talking about Amapiano?
It's a genre.
It's a genre. You should check it out, because you can't come to South Africa.
Oh, see, now I know what you're talking about, because we were watching
the video.
No, we were actually watching the episode of Family Feud. Africa edition. And they had singers and performers on there. And yes, I do remember that genre of music.
Okay. No, it's good, because like I'm saying, when you guys
before we exit and we close out, give us some of Amapiano.
What do you mean?
Like, show, like, you know, what is your rendition of a style? Like, what would you consider it to be? Like, you have like a freestyle or like a song or something that's in that genre?
Not yet, but I do have.
Well, not you personally. someone that's popping now, you know, someone that's popping. What's
Did you
popping?
just me? Oh my gosh.
What's popping? I know you know some piano, you know, I know you know a song that's
Of course, I can't. It's not gonna be loud though. That's my problem.
I want you to sing it.
You want me to sing it? No,
I know it. I know you know the song.
I can't sing it the words properly. But next time I will.
I want to know how it like how the tempo and how to, you know.
Amapiano is not a genre you can just sing. It's all about beat, man.
You have
You
to
know, like
perform it. I know.
yeah. So I can't just sing it for you. Like I was gonna play you an Amapiano song.
Nah, I want you to do it. Cause whenever I do the segment, whenever I whenever I drop this episode, we're gonna tag some Amapiano in there. We're gonna put it right around this area. We're gonna have how do you say it? Cause I don't want to keep butchering it.
How do you say what? Amapiano.
Amapiano.
You said it right. It's literally ama, A-M-A, and then piano. But you have to have that ama.
It's like saying I'm a piano.
Hmm?
It's like saying I'm a piano.
Yeah, it's like saying I'm. Yeah.
Man. So I really did enjoy chatting with you and learning more about your background, even learning more about South Africa. And man, like I said, this is Culture Vision TV. You're more than welcome, you know, to tap in whenever you want to. Hit me up and be like, hey man, I got something to talk about. I want my fans, I want the audience, you know, I want them to hear hear about this new thing I got going on, or you know, check out this new this or new that or whatever you got up and coming, or even if you just want to come and hang out with us, you know what I'm saying? You're more than welcome to. Like I said, this platform and this podcast is solely to shine the spotlight on up and coming independent artists. And
Appreciate it.
Soeyang, I really appreciate you. Don't let me mess your name up. If I'm messing it up, correct me. Please correct me if I'm messing your name up. I really appreciate you being here with us today. I appreciate you tapping in. We appreciate your art, your dope music. Man, y'all make sure y'all go download it, go stream it. She got videos on the way. She got more YouTubes on the way.
Franklin on the way.
You have a video for Franklin on, man, look here. Now she got my anxiety rising.
And my third single on the way.
Third single getting ready to drop. What's the name of the new single?
You.
Y-O-U. And she told me it wasn't spelled Y-O-U earlier, but it's definitely spelled Y-O-U. It's on all stream platforms. You go check it out right now. But not right now. When will it drop?
It will be confirmed as time goes.
Will be confirmed. So stay tuned. Make sure you lock in. Make sure you follow on our platforms on Facebook, where we're not on Facebook, but on Instagram, Snapchat,
Twitter, YouTube.
Make sure you tap in. What was the other one?
SoundCloud.
Make sure you tap in. And this is your boy t-reckz, and we are tapping out. It's another episode of Culture Vision TV, baby. I do appreciate Miss Soeyang for dropping in on us and giving us, you know, insight and outlook on your career as an indie artist and a R&B singer. Like I said, you're more than welcome to drop through whenever you're ready to.
Thank you.
Now make sure y'all hit the like and comment button, hit the share button. We out, baby.